Joe Isidori is a third-generation chef who spent much of his childhood in his father's kitchen and went on to spend his early career in Donald Trump's. He eventually became Trump's executive chef, overseeing the dining concepts for all of his many properties.
Now an independent restaurateur, he's opened 3 places in the past 4 years, including Chalk Point Kitchen, a farmhouse-style restaurant in the Soho neighborhood of Manhattan, and close by Black Tap, featuring craft beers, burgers, and cocktails. Chef Joe Isidori, welcome to the dish.
Thank you.
And you brought milkshakes.
Milkshakes, yeah, well, we have a nice variety of stuff, and we'll run you through it real quick.
Yes.
Yeah, very light meal, yes. You know, first up, we have to have a cocktail. What better in the morning than a cocktail? Well, so we have a Di Serono sour.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
Yeah, it's pretty refreshing. Next up, we have our Brussels sprouts, fried with some tahini, French fries, onion rings, a couple of great burgers, a Black Tap burger salad, some cream corn, and like I said, that's Oreo cookie milkshake and Nutella. Oh. The burgers are really special.
You know, I feel like I would order the burger salad and then say, oh, and a Diet Coke, and that would keep it, right?
You and every woman who comes into the restaurant, yes, yes.
So talk about your background, because it must have been interesting growing up with both a father and a grandmother who are professional chefs.
Yeah, I'm a third-generation New York City chef, and that doesn't mean my grandmother had a great recipe for lasagna and cooked in her kitchen. She was actually a real-deal professional chef, 1964, had her own restaurant in Times Square, and she was listed in Craig Claiborne's guide as a posh restaurant and a Critic's Choice in 1964. Wow. So I got some big shoes to fill, you know? My father followed, and then obviously me after that. So here I am today, slinging vegetables and burgers.
You went to the Culinary Institute?
I did. It's a great story. I received a scholarship. I got accepted, and I went to my father, and I said, Dad, Pop, I'm going to go to the Culinary Institute. He said, you're not going there. I'm not paying that kind of money for you. I'll teach you here for free.
Right.
I said, but Dad, you gotta let me go. No, you're not going. So one day, a woman from the Culinary Institute of America came into the restaurant, and she said to my father, are you cooking this food? He goes, no, I'm not cooking this food. My son's in the kitchen. She said, what? So she came in the kitchen, she shook my hand, and she said, whatever I can do to get you into the school, I'm going to do it. And she got me a scholarship to go.
How did you get from there to meeting Donald Trump? Because that happened when you were 25, right?
Yeah. I just got a strange phone call one day saying he was looking for a chef. I met him, I walked in a room, just like TV, you're hired. I said, okay, what am I doing? So I spent the next 6 years opening up all of his hotels, and I launched all of his restaurants.
What was he like as a boss? Come on.
He was great. He treated me like a son. I got to be honest. It was a great experience, and you know, I learned a lot.
When did that decision happen for you professionally then, that you thought, this is wonderful, but I really want to go on my own?
Well, when I was about 30, I won my first Michelin star. And I realized, okay, this is my launching, you know, my platform to go do what I need to do. I had been traveling the world and the country working for Donald for many years.
Right.
And I said, you know what, let's go home to New York and let's start opening restaurants. So he wasn't so happy when I left, but you know, he knew I had to spread my wings. It was kind of like letting a kid out of the house. And you know, back home I came, and all the restaurants you spoke about, I opened.
Right. That's a lot of work in a very short amount of time.
Yeah. Well, I don't sleep.
Yeah.
You know?
We know the feeling.
What made you want to open a burger joint?
You know, it was a nostalgic play. You know, when I was a kid, my father used to do 2 things. We used to close the restaurants on Tuesdays and go to Chinatown, or we'd always be on the hunt for the best burger.
Right.
And we always loved the luncheonette-style burger, the cheeseburger deluxe. And like, I moved to Soho, and I was walking around the streets trying to find something to eat, and I felt like I couldn't find it. So it was like my mission to recreate a modern luncheonette with the Soho vibe. Hence Black Tap craft burgers and beer. And I just kind of took a classic all-American burger, gave it high-quality ingredients and a little bit of a twist, like our Greg Norman, which is a Kobe beef burger with arugula, blue cheese, and buttermilk.
That's the
really
taste.
great.
Yeah.
As I hand this dish to you and get your signature on it, we want to ask you if you could have this meal with any person, past or present, who would that person be?
It would have to be my father. Absolutely. You know, that would be the most special meal I could ever have.
We saw some beautiful pictures of you guys together.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming, Chef Joe Isidori. And for more on Joe and the Dish, please head to our website at cbsthismorning.com.